Golf. If you know nothing about Tiger Woods, he is the greatest golfer in the history of the sport from like the late 90s to about 2010. He absolutely dominated the sport. He's the Michael Jordan of golf. He was the face of minorities in the sport, which was mainly white people. He couldn't even play in some of the golf courses because even in the mid 90s, there were still whites only golf courses, which is ridiculous to think about. At the very height of his dominance in around 2009, 2010, it eventually came out that he was not only cheating on his wife, he was cheating on his wife with multiple people and almost having not even like a double life, a triple life, quadruple life. He led like 6 lives with these women. He lost all of his sponsorships, lost the video game, his back gave out, his knee gave out. Everyone's hero fell. And eventually he worked his way back up. He got back surgery. He's changed his swing and eventually won the Masters in 2019. One of the greatest sports comebacks in the history of sports. The Last Dance, which is Michael Jordan's documentary that was on ESPN during the summer, was ridiculously popular. Something tells me that they either rushed this documentary because of the popularity or it's just a coincidence. It could be a coincidence. I have to compare this to The Last Dance, not only because are they both the greatest at their sports ever, both of their stories have a lot in common, which is super interesting. The key difference between The Last Dance and Tiger is The Last Dance, Michael Jordan is actually in it, and he's talking about what he went through, his side of the story, and then it would cut back between the other players or the coaches. Lots of stuff going on. That's why it was like 8 episodes long, 8 hours long. Tiger is 2 episodes, both 90 minutes. Tiger Woods is not in this. I mean, he's obviously the subject, but he is not being interviewed. They interview his former caddy, his very first girlfriend, a couple of his mistresses, a couple family friends, and then a couple writers, journalists, what have you. I did not know that he was a child prodigy. There's clips of him when he was on Johnny Carson. He was like less than 2 years old with a golf club, and his dad built him up to think that he's the second coming of Jesus. He literally says he's going to be more popular than Jesus and says, "This is my gift to the world. Please be kind to my gift." Talking about a son, and he's saying my gift to the world. Like, no, Tiger Woods is Tiger Woods. He's like, it's not you. He kind of put himself into Tiger Woods' brain, and when his dad died, Tiger had no idea like how to like live. Almost, you feel for Tiger Woods because his parents just, it's ridiculous what they put into his head. As a little kid, they told him that he was going to change the game of golf, not only as a golfer, but as a black man. It's insane because everything they said is completely true. Like they prophesized it essentially. But the main issue is the dad never let Tiger be Tiger. He had to be this persona of Tiger Woods rather than be himself. In the first episode, the main conflict is he wants to have a regular life, and his parents refused to let him have a regular life and go out to parties. His high school girlfriend, his parents made him break up with because he would visit her rather than play golf. And they interview her a lot, and it seems like that was his one connection to real life. And once he split up with her, it's just snowballed into him becoming more and more of like a robot. And the saddest part is at the very beginning of at the very like peak of his downfall, when he had that DUI and he's on opioids and Ambien while he's driving, the cop asks him, "Where are you going?" And he says, "I'm going home to Orange County." And he said, "Sir, this is Florida." And it cuts to the girlfriend or the ex-girlfriend, and she says, "He was talking about coming home to me." And oh man, it crushed me. My main gripe is Tiger Woods isn't in this to say, "No, that's not how that went. This is how I saw it," or defending himself. Obviously, what he did was awful, but he's not in it, which makes it seem like it's kind of like tabloidy almost, where it's They literally have like a guy who ran the National Enquirer in it. Like it feels a little slimy sometimes, especially that guy. Ugh. And it focuses almost the entire second episode of his downfall, which is obviously massive in his story because he went from this clean cut superstar who looked like all he did was win at golf and be a nice person. Him winning the Masters in 2019 after losing all of his sponsors, after like multiple back surgeries and knee surgeries, he won the Masters, which is one of the greatest comeback stories in the history of sports, regardless if you like him or not. Doing that is incredible. And it's like 5 minutes at the very end. It doesn't build up. It doesn't talk about the impact of him winning the Masters. He's still trying to get the Jack Nicklaus's record of 18 majors, and they talked about that. He wants to win. That's all he wants to do is get to 19 majors. And at the very end, he wins the Masters again, and it just ends. Like I don't know if they're trying to go for like oh, he's still playing and he's going after it, but it just kind of fades out. I'm giving this a 7.5. It's a well-made documentary. I just don't like how Tiger Woods is not in it. Apparently, he has a contract with some other media company, I assume ESPN, just like Michael Jordan did with The Last Dance. So he's not in this. He's not the one talking. There's a line in the second episode that kind of sums up the entire documentary. He's taking pictures with, it looked like amateur kids playing golf. And one of the kids says, "Oh, this is weird. You must be used to this." And Tiger Woods says, "You never get used to this." And that just sums it up perfectly, where he eventually cracked from the pressure and from just constant cameras in his face 24/7 that he just broke down. Place your bets on what the next athlete to have a documentary is. My money is on Tom Brady. Who you got?